everyone, Colo at DiscountJuicers.com. Today I have another exciting episode for you, and I got the all-new NC800 juicer. This is the video you guys have been waiting for. It's the juicer that I've been waiting for because I tried it at the trade show several months back, and now, within 30 days, it's going to be available for you guys to buy. But before you guys are able to buy it, I get a sample to show you guys what it's about and share my opinions on it with you. So, to let you guys know, if you don't know what this is the all-new Omega NC800. Now, the NC800 model is the upgraded model, the new model of the next generation, 5th generation of horizontal single auger juicers. So Omega originally came out with the Omega 8001, then they came out with the Omega 8002, then they had the 8003 and 8005, then they had the 8004 and 8006, and this is the latest and greatest one. And I'm really excited for it. Actually, I used it at the trade show, and I was really impressed with how it worked. So what we're going to do in this video is actually we're going to unbox the all-new NC800, and then we're actually going to compare it to the 4th generation, the Omega 8004 juicer. So without further ado, let's go ahead and actually read a couple of things on the box. On the box it says NC800 HDS, so the HD stands for heavy duty. That means it has an Ultim auger, which is 8 times stronger than the melamine augers that came with the original horizontal Omega juicers. They are still included on the Omega 8003 and 8005 models. And the S stands for silver. It comes in a silver color. This is the base model. They're not offering at present time this model in white. At present time, they will offer this in the silver color. They will also offer it in a red and also a chrome-plated plastic, which will be the NC900. The NC800 and the NC900 models are all the same machine, only the color is different. It says low-speed system, 80 RPMs, preserves and maintains nutrients for up to 72 hours, maximum juice extraction, 5 adjustable settings for maximum juice output. Multi-purpose, makes juice, soy milk, nut butters, baby food, and more. Easy to use and powerful. Powerful commercial motor and heavy-duty GE Ultim auger. So while it does have a commercial motor, this machine is not certified for commercial use. At present time, there are no low-speed certified or NSF juicers that I am aware of that's really going to be effective at leafy greens. And for that, you're going to have to watch a whole different video that I haven't made yet. So now I want to make a few comments on what they claim this machine will do. Now, I've been using the juicers, the Omega brand juicers, the 8000 series, and the Verts for many years now. And in my opinion, I know you guys as customers always want to buy one machine that does it all. But in my opinion, like if you bought a car that also was an airplane, it wouldn't do one or the other one like really well. It might do both of them. But you're going to sacrifice something, and that's what I think when you buy a juicer that does it all. So while there is a way to make this machine produce some soy milk or nut milks, it's not optimal, and I do not recommend it. The better machine to make the nut milks, in my opinion, is the Omega Vert series of juicers. The Omega Vert 400 happens to be the best to make nut milks. But the Omega Vert juicers will not do the banana ice creams, the nut butters, the sorbets, or the homogenizing like this one will. So you've got to make a choice. If you're looking at the Vert series, and I will have a video about this against the Vert series and a good comparison video between the two, you really have to figure out, do you want to be able to do sorbets and nut butters and juice more, or do you want to be able to do nut milks and juice? And each of the juicers, in addition, have their own pros and cons, but we're not going to get into that into this video. You'll have to wait for the Omega Vert 400 versus the NC800 video that I'll do hopefully fairly soon. In any case, without further ado, let's go ahead and open this guy up and show you what's in the box. So open this thing up, man. This is a huge box. So I do want to say right off the get-go that the size of this box is almost double the size of the Omega 8004, 8006 model. It's a lot larger because it's just packed differently. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Oh, and inside the box you're going to get a registration card to register your juicer with Omega. Now you can send this registration card in to register your juicer, or what you could also do is go online to their website, OmegaJuicers.com, to register your registration and save a stamp and save some fossil fuel at the same time. Now the warranty on this machine is right here on the bottom. 15 years, that's 555, 15 years. 15 years is the longest warranty in the juicing industry. And you know, I encourage you guys to get a juicer with a long warranty, because when you get a juicer with a long warranty, you're making an investment in the most important thing you got, your health. And with a 15-year warranty, you're guaranteed a juicer that's going to work for you for the next 15 years. A lot of inexpensive juicers may have a 90-day warranty or 1-year warranty, you know, but 15 years, that's a long time, and pretty much it's probably going to be the last juicer you're going to have to buy. So, you know, this is a one-time purchase. You're not going to be buying a new juicer like you buy a new car every couple years. You know, they're pretty dependable, and with a 15-year warranty, that's your assurance that it's going to be working for a long time. So you also get a little instruction book. Now this instruction book to me looks like it's a little like a poor translation from another language. And while it does have the basics in there, it does not contain any recipes. And while I do claim it does do nut milks and other things, and also extrudes pasta, which is cool, they don't actually have the specific instructions on how to do that in the instruction book. So I'm a little bit saddened by that. So you'll have to wait for some of my videos where I show how to use some of these functions and do some of these things in the NC800. Okay, so those are the first two things. Next, here's the main baby right here. Check it out. NC800. First time seen on YouTube. For real. So this is the known as the puppy, because if you look at it, it has like a nice little arch here underneath it. And you just look like this, it could be like... Alright, so yeah, it looks like the puppy. And basically you just got the cord. It's a 3-prong cord. Nice long cord for about a good 4 feet, and it's got the button to turn it off and on is right here. It's a 3-position button. You have off, which is in the center position, on, which is pushed in on the top, and then reverse is a momentary contact if you push it in on the bottom. The reverse is only to be used if the juicer gets stuck. Let's see, here on the bottom it has the rating, NC800S, 150 watts. Date of manufacture, March 2013. This is hot off the press. See, actually, it's kind of light. It's probably about the same weight as the 8006 juicer. As you can see, it's a nice silver finish, almost like a silver metallic color. Kind of reminds me like it's probably like a pearl white, or be like a silver pearl color. And you have the attachment here. It says open and close. This is to put the juicer assembly on there. It has a nice built-in handle so you can easily carry and pick up the juicer, which I also do like a lot. So let's see, let's find out what else is in the box here. Up first we got the pusher coming right out, and the pusher's kind of like stadium, like, you know, that kind of oval like stadium thing. And for those of you guys that are familiar with the 8004, 8006 series machines, that pusher's a circle. So guess what? This has a larger feed chute, which we'll talk about in a second. There's the pusher. You also get a cleaning brush. This brush is not an oversized toothbrush for a giant. You could brush your teeth with it. This is a special cleaning brush. It has nylon bristles, and this is actually a really stiff bristle. This is going to be imperative to clean the screen of the juicer. In addition, it has a little plastic screwdriver end that's not going to scratch the screen, but you're going to use this to like dig out some of the pulp in the screen so that you can clean the juicer easily. See, oh, here's the main body right here. The main body housing of the all-new NC800. And check it out, there's that feed chute, and we're going to compare this to the feed chute size on the Omega 8004 in just a little bit. And basically this is the similar design. You know, it's a single auger style, and we'll compare it once again a little bit to see the exact differences. But there are many things that are the same. First off, when you twist this, you basically have just the drum cap, which goes on. Then you have the juicing screen, which actually amazingly is fairly similar to the previous model. You also have the auger, which actually looks also fairly similar. Then you have the drum, or the main body. And now this piece is clear plastic, and it has the funnel piece molded in. So it's actually one piece. They glued it together. You cannot take this apart like on the previous model. So that's that. Let's see what else is in the box here. Oh, we're almost done getting all the cool stuff out the box. Alright, so check it out. We got a collection cup, nice clear collection cup. One of the things I like about this collection cup is that it is a much larger size than the collection cups that came with the 8004 and 8006 models. In addition, here is what's called your blank plate, or your solid screen. So unlike the juicing screen that has holes here, this one is solid, and the juicing screen also has holes here because this is a 2-stage screen. things on the initial crush. Juice comes out here, stage 1. It's worked along this little area of the screen, which the produce gets crushed and squeezed. The juice comes out here. On this one, it's just solid, so whatever you put in, literally the juicer just crushes and squeezes and ejects it. So this is the one that you're going to use for the nut butters, the sorbets, and other functions when you're just basically using it as a grinder or mincer. Let's see, what else we got in here? All right, coming right out. Oh, this is the last parts in here. That's definitely really cool. Let's go ahead and get rid of this huge box off the table. And the last parts are right in this container. So you get 2 containers. This one happens to be the pulp catch container. This is the juice catch cup. They kind of go underneath like that. And actually, they're significantly larger. Didn't check the volume on this yet, but it's much larger than the old model. Other parts that are in here, you have the pasta extruders. So these just only extrude the pasta-like shapes. If you make your pasta dough and feed it through the machine. And you know, if you're buying this machine just to make pasta, I'd say save your money. This is an expensive machine just to make pasta, and this only extrudes the shape. So that means you're gonna have to have a stand mixer or whatever to mix up your pasta flour, dough stuff, and then put it through here just to make the spaghetti-like shapes. What I recommend instead is, if you really want to make spaghetti, just buy like a spaghetti machine that you put all the ingredients in. It actually mixes it up and then actually extrudes out the spaghetti all in one unit. So I find that most people do not actually use the spaghetti functions. Let's see. Another piece here is just the mochi cone, or basically the screen you'd use to make the sorbets and the nut butters. This just extrudes out whatever you put in, grinds it up, and sends it through a nice little thin tube-like shape. So the last piece in here is what makes the Omega NC800 very special, and is one of the reasons for its increase in performance, which means juice yield when using it. So the standard Omega 8000 series, basically what it has a fixed outlet. So in the juice screen, there's a little doohickey or silicone like this that keeps some pressure on the pulp. In addition, the NC800 also has this right here. So we're going to go ahead and put that in. We're going to put the drum cap on here. For the new model, the NC800 has an adjustable end cap that you're going to put on here. So this goes on and it has settings from 0 to 5. Now, the different levels is how much extra back pressure is going to be put on the pulp to keep it inside the juicer longer to get maximum extraction. This also means that this machine may be easier to back up if you have this set incorrectly. For example, if you have this set to 5, it's going to keep the pulp in there much longer and create a higher yield. So I recommend you always start off on a 5, and if it's backing up, then you're going to have to loosen this down to a 1 to let the pulp flow out. I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and put this guy together and show you how easy it is to assemble. I'm going to go ahead and take this apart for you guys. Once again, basically you're going to take the drum here, the whole body, you're going to slide this lever on the top to open, and then you're going to slide it to close. That locks this piece into place. The next thing, you're going to go ahead and take your auger, slide that in there. Now when you slide that in there, you might be saying, hey John, dude, there's like ½ inch space between where this goes in and the main body. This is normal, don't freak out. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the screen. Now the screen, this bottom part of the screen here, always needs to go in the bottom and center it up. If you put it in on the top, it's not going to work, and you need to put it exactly in the bottom, and then, and only then, it's going to slide right into place, and it's going to be flush with the auger. Then you're going to take the drum cap, which is this piece right here, put this on, and then you're going to want to make sure you get the right part if you're juicing. You're going to want to use the one with the largest hole size. You know, all these other ones are for pasta, and this one's pasta, and this one's for homogenizing. You're going to want to get the one with a large hole here. This is the adjustable one. It also has numbers on it. If you put one of these guys on there, it's not going to work properly. So we're going to go ahead and put that guy on there. And let's see, let's put the collection bowls. One collection bowl goes underneath there, nice and large. Other one right there. The juice will come out the bottom of the machine and the pulp will come out the front. In addition, you got the pusher, and I only ever recommend you use the pusher to push produce into the machine. Do not use your fingers, do not use your kids' fingers, do not use a fork, knife, or any other tool because you probably will damage the auger. Once again, make sure you use the pusher and don't lose it. It's a valuable piece. Okay, let's see, extra parts. So once again, this is the homogenizing blank for doing the nut butters and whatnot we don't need, and we'll only need the cleaning brush after we're done juicing. So this is the NC800 all set up, ready to use. As you can see, it's still a horizontal single auger style juicer, pretty similar to the previous models. But there's a few things, you know. Number one, the feed chute size larger. Number two, the collection bins are larger. Number three, there's an adjustable outlet here. So you can adjust the back pressure, so you'll probably get a higher yield. It's said that you get about 7 to 13% more juice with the NC800. I have yet to test that in a side-by-side comparison, which I will do fairly soon for you guys. So that pretty much wraps it up for the NC800. Next, what I want to do for you guys is actually compare this to the original Omega 8004 Nutrition Center. So let's go ahead and pull that guy out. Alright, I'm back. As you guys can see, we got the NC800 juicer HDS, and we have the Omega 8004, which is also HD, and technically be the 8004 HDW because it's white. First thing I want to do is compare these guys, so let's go ahead and line these guys up on their back here for you guys. Hold it very carefully. Check out the size. Man, check it out. The NC800 is considerably bigger. So, you know, if you have space issues, one thing I don't have, you want to get the 8004 because it's much smaller. The NC800, much larger. Next thing I want to do is kind of weigh them. Let's see, pick this guy up, pick this guy up. I could definitely say the Omega 8004 is actually a tad bit heavier than the NC800 machine. The next thing I'm always interested in doing is see if the machines are backwards compatible. So what I want to do is we're going to go ahead and take off the main juicing apparatus on this machine, take off the main juicing apparatus on this machine, and switch them. Let's see if this guy fits on the 8004, which it does, and we're going to see if this guy fits on the NC800, which it does. So what this means is if you have already an 8004, you could just buy this end cap and all the parts, and then you will theoretically have the NC800. So that's really cool. Let's go ahead and switch these guys back so that you guys don't get confused because they're not supposed to come like this. So the next thing I want to compare is the feed chute size. This is a very big deal. I mean, some juicers have 3-inch wide feed chutes that are huge. These are high-speed centrifugal ejection juicers that I'm not necessarily a fan of. They run at high speed, like 10,000 RPMs, and can oxidize your food more, which means lower nutrition. And depending on what you're juicing, you know, like leafy greens, you're going to get a much lower yield in a centrifugal ejection compared to these guys. These guys actually probably make the highest yield on the leafy greens. So if you're interested in juicing a lot of leafy greens to get the nutrition out of the leafy greens, which are the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet, then you probably want to get one of these ones and not those high-speed ones that may sound like an airplane taking off in your kitchen. So that being said, these guys have significantly smaller feed chute sizes. We could just go ahead and show you the comparison. Here's the pusher on the Omega 8004, and here's the pusher on the NC800. Let's go ahead and turn these guys up, and as you can see, the base, I mean, man, that's a pretty big difference right there. It's significantly larger. So like this pusher will not fit in that one, and this pusher will easily fit in part of that one, but then you still have a lot of extra leftover space. So for you guys, what I want to do is I want to show you guys the comparison just like this. So you guys can see the difference in the openings. One opening is much larger than the other. So the Omega 8004 opening, it's a circle, and it's about 1.5 inches in diameter, and it's a circle. This guy is actually about 1.5 inches by 2 inches, and it's more of like a stadium shape. And so what does this mean to you? This means less cutting for you. This means that this feed chute is 85% larger. So that's a significant increase almost 2 times as large. So I really think that's really beneficial. It's going to allow you to do less cutting, do more juicing, and actually just make it easy for you guys. And when a juicer is easier to use and easier to clean, it's going to get used more often. And that's another thing I like about both these machines. Because they're pretty much the same setup, this is the fastest juicer that I've found to clean in the whole world. This machine here takes me a minute and a half, and you know, I can imagine based on how this one looks, which is pretty similar, it's going to take me about a minute and a half as well. Now, it might take you under 2 minutes, but it depends how fast of a juicer cleaner you are, and I happen to be a very fast juice cleaner. So let's go ahead and take some of these end cap parts off and check them out. Once again, here's the one-piece end cap on the Omega 8004, and this is the two-piece end cap. So you have the end cap here, and then you have the adjustable doohickey right there. And so yeah, this makes the juicer a tad bit longer. Next we have the juicing screen. Let's go ahead and pull these guys out and compare them to you guys. As you can see, the NC800 juicing screen has been reinforced. They did have some challenges with the 8000 series machine screen cracking due to some using recycled plastic, which they now have corrected. But this one looks to be even stronger. They've added an extra ring here and some extra pieces of plastic here, and the overall screen looks to be much heavier duty. It's just a lot thicker. In addition, one of the things I like, the back end screen right here, let's go ahead and try to compare those guys up. They look to be about the same size approximately, but if we look at the screen, you know, the second stage screen right here, the second stage screen on the NC800 has been increased in size. I didn't run the percentage increase in this yet, but you know, to my untrained eye, it's actually a fair bit larger. So, you know, what does a larger screen mean? A larger screen means more time to clean, but it also means higher yields for you. So, you know, I can see it taking an extra 30 seconds to clean, but, you know, for that, you're going to be rewarded with higher yields. Once again, it's claimed that this makes 7 to 13% higher yields. That's probably due to the screen, this screen, and the adjustment on the end there. Next, let's take a look at the augers. I'm really curious to see if these augers are similar or different. There's the auger on the NC800. Here's the auger on the Omega 8004. And check it out. Oh my gosh. These guys look to be almost the same, but as I look at the auger, man, these guys are too close to call. And I don't want to get them mixed up. If we put them side by side, man, they're like, oh my gosh, they're like so similar. The auger on the NC800 looks to be a little bit different than the auger on the 8004 to my untrained eye. It's very important not to switch augers and use one in the other, because if the screen design has changed, then that means you will get plastic scraping, which I do not recommend. So, you know, for all practical purposes, they're very similar but different. So the same size and whatnot. Of course, here we got the main body here. I'm going to go ahead and take these guys out. Once again, the main thing on the body here is actually the size. Let's compare the sizes. They're about the same size, but the main thing is the feed chute has been greatly increased in size. So I really like that a lot. I'm going to go ahead and reassemble these guys, and actually then I'll be back at you with my final comments. Alright, so we got these machines back together, and once again, these guys are super simple and easy to assemble, disassemble, and also to clean. I guess to sum this up, in the comparison, I mean, while they are virtually almost identical, there's definitely several improvements with this machine that I really like. I mean, number one, I like the larger feed chute. This means that you'll have to do less cutting. Also, when using this machine, I've noticed that it's, you know, better at self-feeding than the 8004, 8006, 8003, and 8005 series machines. Because of the larger feed chute, the auger kind of gets around it and it kind of draws things in a little bit better. With this machine, I found that you really have to use the pusher a lot more. With this, you'll have to use it a little bit less. What does that equate to you? That means you're going to save a little bit of time when juicing in the NC800, and we all know time is money. Now, yes, this machine definitely costs more. For more money, you're going to get a larger feed chute. You're going to get a 7 to 13% yield increase. So, you know, that alone could save you money in the long run to make up for the extra cost, plus the ease of use, and also, you know, the ease of cleaning is pretty much the same in both machines. The other thing that is different is the catch cups, the catch containers, the pulp catch and the juice catch. So if you're juicing large quantities, you're going to have to empty it less often in the NC800. Alright, so now I want to sum up the differences between the NC800 and the Omega 8004. I guess number one is the weight. So if you if you have problems like with arthritis and lifting heavy stuff, you're going to want to go with the NC800. It's definitely lighter to pick up and carry. If you got space issues, you live in a small apartment in Manhattan, you might want to go with the smaller machine because this is a fair bit longer. If you don't want to do as much cutting, you want to go with the NC800 because it has a much larger feed chute. That means less cutting. It's going to actually suck the produce in a little bit better based on my experience, and so that means it's going to be more hassle-free. If you really want to get the most yield out of the produce you're juicing and you're going to get a single auger machine that's horizontal style, you want to go with the NC800. It's the new model, it's improved, it gets 7 to 13% higher yield when juicing things. And if you like a juicer that's really a no-brainer to use, you just cut the produce, put it in, it juices, it comes out, you're done. You want to go with 8004. The NC800, you have an adjustment on the end, and this will mean you will get a higher yield if used properly, but it also means you're going to have to figure it out. So if you don't like figuring out stuff, you want to get the 8004. If you want the maximum yield and you don't mind figuring it out and having some trial and error, because that's what it's going to be like, and they do have the recommended settings in the instruction book, then you're going to be cool with the NC800. If you like a pulp-free juice, then you probably want to go with the Omega 8004, because the Omega 8004 comes with an accessory strainer that you can set on top of the juice catch cup or collection cup when juicing, so it'll remove the excess pulp. The all-new NC800 does not come with an accessory strainer, so you're just going to have to go and buy one at a local department store if you want to get a strainer to remove the excess pulp if the desired level of pulp in the juice is not acceptable to you. Now, if you're going to be on a juice fast and you're going to be juicing a lot, definitely would go with the NC800 because of the larger catch cups. I mean, at least it's probably, I don't know, 30% larger just based on looking at it, maybe even 40% larger. It's significantly larger, so it's going to allow you to juice more instead of having to empty the cup all too often like I've had to do with the 8004 in the past. Let's see, yeah, if you like artwork and fancy artwork, futuristic design, you want to go with the NC800, man. It just looks cool. The little puppy. Wait, I know those. I used to work at a toy store, and these little dogs, they just walk on, be on the thing all day. It's like a little dog. Alright, so I guess that pretty much wraps up this episode with you guys, showing you guys the all-new NC800 juicer from Omega. Now, once again, this machine is not yet available, but it will be available soon. So what you want to do, if you want to get one, you want to go down in the description, click the link, it'll take you to the web page where you can pre-order it. And once again, it's scheduled to be out within the next 30 days. So, you know, if you want to pre-order it now. We'll ship it to you when they're in stock, and you'll be one of the first in the nation to get the all-new Omega NC800. In my opinion, it's definitely been worth the wait, and now I'm going to be juicing up in my all-new NC800. Now, hey, does anybody want to buy a used 8004? In any case, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Once again, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors. Alright, this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and this is Will It Juice? It's like that whole series on YouTube about will it do something else? In any case, what we're going to do today is a really cool vegetable, actually, that many of you guys may not be eating. Hopefully some of you guys are. But this is a commonly known vegetable that's really good for the skin. And what that is we're going to juice today is this stuff, aloe vera leaves.